Hello everyone, today I'm working on my 2007 Ford Focus. The issue is the driver airbag indicator light. And when these lights go off, what happens is the car is doing a self-diagnostic, like a self-check on the airbag system. That can be many issues. One, it can be the crash sensors up around the front of the car. Another one could be the actual airbag module system that is underneath the center console. Another thing could be the seatbelt locking is not, it could be locked open. Another thing could be the seatbelt retractor. So anyway, what's going on is, so when you start your car, all these indicator lights will come on and the driver airbag will do a self-diagnostic. When it comes back on, it lets you know that something's wrong with the airbag. So even when I start my car, the airbag light stays on. Now, I did a lot of research, and one of the simplest fixes that I found that I'm actually going to start is, I don't want to believe it, but people say it actually works. And there is a YouTube video out there that shows it working. But what you do is, first, if you don't know what you're doing about airbags, do not attempt it. Okay? Alright, so first, that being said, first you want to make sure that you disconnect your battery. I'm about to do that. When you disconnect your battery, leave your battery disconnected. Some people say like at least 10 minutes. Some people, I'm going to say about an hour. So I gotta run out and do some errands. So by the time I get back, I will be okay. You want to completely discharge your system, because if there's any power left, this could actually explode on you if you're not careful, because there's still a little bit of power. So you want to make sure that your car is completely discharged. Now after that's done, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm just going to show you that behind the steering wheel is a bolt here. Sorry if you can't really see it. Yeah, there it is. There's a bolt there on the left side, and there'll be a bolt here on the right side. Okay, might help to turn the steering wheel. But what you're going to do is you're going to remove these two bolts, and that will loosen up this horn airbag. And when you loosen that up, you're going to pull this off, and you set this to the side. Now when you set this to the side, make sure this is facing up, because if it accidentally discharges, the airbag's going to force this down. Whereas if you laid it down on the ground and that airbag accidentally deploys, this is going to go shooting up and probably hurt yourself, kill yourself, etc., etc. So when you move this, you're going to see the airbag system in here, and what it does is it plugs into the clock spring up in the steering column. Those plugs get corroded, dirty, and it can throw the driver airbag light. So that's my first step I'm going to take. I'm going to try to remove this, clean the terminals, and install it. So what do you say we get to it? I'm going to first disconnect the battery, and after it sits for about an hour, I'm going to come back and show you what you need to do. First, disconnect your negative, then your positive. Okay, so I had the car disconnected for well over an hour. And then the bolts on the back are 5.5 millimeter. If you can get a deep socket, that would probably help more. You're going to turn your steering wheel to 12 and 6 o'clock. This will help you get better access to the bolts on the back. You're going to remove the top and the bottom bolt. Alright, so I got all the bolts loosened. When you loosen these bolts, they do not come out all the way, but you'll feel it loosen. And when they're completely loosened, they'll just pop. And you're going to take this, and you're going to see. I want to hold it with my. Set it down right there. Okay. You're going to see a tab right there. Okay. You're going to undo this clip. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so it probably helps to gotta move that pin right up right there. So just kind of flick that in and then pull. Now, as you can see, thing's really dusty. There's just hair and everything up in here. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I set this down on the ground. Set this up like this, because that airbag just happens to go off. It's going to force this down to the ground. You put it down like that, and that airbag goes off. Well, somebody's going to get hurt, most likely. Alright, so first what I'm going to do is I have some electronic cleaner. Okay, fast drying. Removes oil, grease, dirt, and flux. Okay, I want to spray some of that right up on these pins in here. And I want to try to get all that crap okay. You just want to clean all the dirt off of those pins. Alright, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this dielectric grease. Okay, it protects electrical connections from corrosion. Okay, I'm going to open up this tube and I'm just going to put a little glob down on these pins. Okay, so we just take that. Kind of comes out in a straight glob there. Okay. Now some people will take like a popsicle stick or like a little brush or something and kind of push it in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this connector and I'm going to plug it in, unplug it, plug it in, unplug it, plug it in a few times, and that's going to work that grease into those pins. Okay, my mistake, it was actually this bottom one. So I'm just going to put some grease down here in the bottom pins, and same thing, I'm just going to work it in. Okay. Alright, I worked the pins there a few times. Hopefully this is going to do the trick. Now what we're going to do is just going to set the airbag back in place. You're going to line up your bolts. And basically the whole reverse thing, you're going to just tighten your bolts back up and just press in every so often. Make sure your horn, works when you're done, of course. So just going to set this in place. We're going to tighten back up the bolts. Alright, so got it all bolted back up, and we're going to hook the battery back up. Alright, first being your negative, and then your positive. Alright, well, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if that airbag light goes back off. The airbag light is off. Let's start it up, make sure. Airbag light is off. Hallelujah, it worked. Have a good day, everybody.